But we've got people at the moment, Femi, that can't pay their basic bills.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Well, and inflation is an issue of supply and demand. Either it's too few goods with money, or too much money chasing too few goods. But right now, we haven't got an issue of people having too much money. Nobody has too much money right now. The issue is that we have a supply issue, caused largely by the issues in Ukraine, also to do with Brexit. So increasing the wages wouldn't make that core problem worse. Governor Andrew Bailey himself confirmed recently, one of the people who work with him in the Bank of England, that Brexit has added 6% to the cost of food. So this is not completely out of our control. And there is simply 40 billion sat on the table in tax revenue. The government is simply refusing to touch.
So you would join this? You think the answer is joining the single market?
The single market, according to the government. I mean, the argument over whether or not Brexit is making us poorer is over, because Rishi Sunak has admitted that Brexit has damaged our exports. His Chancellor, Jeremy Hunt, says that rejoining the EU single market would improve growth. He's simply choosing not to. And according to his own figures, it would increase our GDP economy by 4%, an equivalent of £100 billion a year, which would deliver 40 billion in taxes. And the most extreme estimate says that paying public sector workers in line with inflation would cost 28 billion. 40 billion more than covers that.
Femi, we're in the space we are not going to be joining the single market. Again, you think that we should be increasing wages then in line with inflation?
But that's the thing. When you say, but we're not going to join the single market, that's like seeing somebody...
Well, it doesn't look like we are. What I'm saying is we're in a space at the moment where that's not happening. So with that in consideration, what is the other option?
I get what you're saying, but that's basically saying, well, the government's not going to join the single market. It's like seeing somebody bleeding on the floor, begging you for help and saying, well, no, my mate's not going to stop hitting you, so give him another option. Now, the question is, why is he not going to stop hitting us? The government could solve this problem. They could improve people's wages. And not to mention, it wouldn't drive up inflation because by definition, rejoining the single market deals with several of our supply issues, so it would actually help with inflation.
That if it's about getting more money in your pocket and the absolute root cause, which is what you just said about being able to pay for things, then it has to be a proportionate response.
Yeah, and that proportionate response involves making us a fairer country, and right now the UK is the fourth most unequal country financially in Europe. So if we had a system that actually taxed the rich and made sure that people weren't, avoiding taxes, cough, cough, Nadeem Zahawi, then we would actually have a fairer country.